Hey, FHN!
I'm Kate.
I'm Ben.
And welcome to The Nightly Show. Stick by for insight on why elementary schools teach how to play the recorder, a feature on a face you won't be seeing after this year, and the basics of a simulation hypothesis.
Starting off today's broadcast, the annual St. Louis Earth Day Festival at Muni Park has wrapped up. The event many have been looking forward to aims to move and inspire the community to a more environmentally stable region. Through featuring sustainable products, local entertainment, and environmentally friendly food products, that goal was most certainly met in spades.
Speaking of nurturing growth, it's not always about the trees we help grow, but the talents as well. Over at the Henderson Elementary School, Melanie Juarez and Isabella Kloppenberg take a look at this in action with kids learning the intricacies of the recorder.
Why do they make elementary school kids learn the recorder? Like, out of all the instruments out there, what makes the recorder special? Let's break it down.
The recorder is popular in elementary school because it's fairly easy to play with their fingers, and it also prepares them for band. If they go into band, they kind of put all that together with their fingering system. If they play a woodwind, it's great because the woodwind fingerings match. But the main thing is, are we connecting actually reading to producing sound? That's the big thing.
Recorder karate helped me learn how to read music and to play simple rhythms, which has helped me a lot when I was in 6th grade learning how to play trumpet.
The recorder may be simple, but schools use it for a reason. It builds essential music skills and prepares students for more advanced instruments later on. It's a small start to a bigger musical journey. Who knows? Maybe it's the first step into becoming a great musician.
On April 21st, Easter Monday, Pope Francis passed away at the age of 88 after suffering a stroke, which led to cardiac arrest. Pope Francis was elected in 2013 after the resignation of Pope Benedict. Pope Francis was known for his humility and less than formal approach to his job than his other predecessors. A funeral service was held on Saturday, April 26th to commemorate the life of the 266th Pope.
Many people at FHN have great passion for a sport, a subject, or a form of art. Kim Sulzner, the director of theater arts, is retiring after 35 years and recounts her journey through theater and how her passion has changed her life. Kim Sulzner is the director of theater arts here at Francis Howell North, and after 35 years, she has decided to retire. With a career that has impacted countless students and people alike, what has her journey through theater been like?
I did my first play when I was 8 years old. And it was kind of an oops. My older sister she wanted to go audition for a play, like a community theater play. But my parents told her she couldn't because she had to stay home and babysit me because I'm the youngest and she's 8 years older. So she got the crazy idea that she would just drag me to the audition and that way she got to do what she wanted and she could babysit me. So when we got there, she made me audition. It was for The Wizard of Oz and it was a musical. And I didn't have anything prepared, but she ran up on stage and she's like, sing this one song. And I did it. And then when they posted the cast list, my name was on it and hers was not. And her punishment was she had to take me to rehearsal all the time. And then when I hit college, I started doing all the backstage stuff and realized that I was okay on stage, but I'm a really awesome tech. And I really enjoy more of the tech aspect of it. So then finished up college to become a teacher with an emphasis in theater, and then I went and got my master's in technical theater and directing. 35 years in the district, I just decided it was time to go.
When my sister went here, she was really close with Sulzner's daughter, so she's kind of been in my family for a while, but I've been her student since freshman year. I'm probably just gonna miss our conversations because it's really fun to talk to her in the morning and stuff because I get here really early. I'm probably just gonna miss spending time in the room. We've built a community that included her since freshman year, so it's gonna feel weird that she's not here.
With many memories made, Miss Sulzner will forever be remembered for her hard work and dedication to the art of theater.
If I had listened to what everybody else told me I should do, it wouldn't be to theater. Because I was told I had to go do something more, like be a computer scientist or go in the military or pursue some other business type career. And I figured out a way to do theater and have a profession because I knew I couldn't do it just being an actor. Not that good. But don't let anybody tell you you can't. Because if you really truly love it, number one, it'll never be work because you enjoy doing it. and you can find success then. So don't listen to anybody else. Do what is in your heart.
Staying within school news, many classes have reported obnoxious odors throughout the school year. PU! Recently, an email from Jeff Fletcher was sent to the FHN staff, students, and families detailing the solutions to the ongoing issue. Air quality monitors have been placed where the odor has been reported most prominent, and an engineering firm was hired to investigate the ongoing issue and hopefully put an end to the problem.
The idea of simulations has been an ongoing question for years, but one Swedish philosopher, Nicholas Bostrom, has had some ideas of his own. Vanessa Ng details how relevant his hypothesis is to current technology and what could happen in the future.
In 2003, Swedish philosopher Nicholas Bostrom proposed his simulation hypothesis. In his hypothesis, Bostrom believes that one day humans will be able to create simulations so advanced that they include conscious beings. The consciousness of a real human would be essentially indistinguishable from a human in the simulation, at least to them. Bostrom's hypothesis presents a trilemma, 3 possible scenarios for our world. In one scenario, the human species dies out before we have the right technology to create such a simulation. In another scenario, humanity reaches the necessary technology but chooses not to create a simulation. The final, and what Bostrom believes is the most likely scenario, is that the simulation has already been created and we are in it right now. Simulations may just sound like science fiction or paranoia, but how realistic is Bostrom's hypothesis from becoming a reality? First, let's visit the idea that we are currently in a simulation. Bostrom argues that if civilization reaches the right technology to run such simulations, then the number of simulated ancestors would most certainly exceed the number of actual biological ancestors. This means that you are more likely to be one of the simulated ancestors than an actual ancestor. Bostrom's hypothesis states that it is not impossible for us to tell if we are in a simulation, but it is likely that any imperfections may seem normal to natives of the simulation, or the memory of it may be removed from the program. To the everyday person, we have no real way of knowing if we live in a simulation. Conspiracy theories may suggest evidence of such an idea, but it is certainly difficult to confirm such an idea to be fact. Next, Bostrom's idea that humanity reaches the necessary technology but chooses not to create a simulation. This possibility in Bostrom's hypothesis doesn't match up historically with humanity's intrinsic and extrinsic drives for innovation. From the printing press to the personal computer, humanity thrives through innovation for the sake of an easier life and, in many instances, money. From the rivalry between Vanderbilt and Rockefeller to the modern arms race of artificial intelligence, many of the top innovators have competed to stay on top, for power and profit. It seems unlikely that humanity would reach a point with the necessary technology to run a simulation, but not follow through, especially with capitalistic motives in mind. Finally, let's consider the idea that the human species dies out before reaching the necessary technology. This begs the larger question of whether humanity will ever reach the necessary technology. Bostrom stated that unless we are now living in a simulation, our descendants will almost certainly never run an ancestor simulation. So assume for at least a moment that we are not living in a simulation. Is the technology we have enough to create a simulation parallel to our current world? We may not have the technology quite yet, but it may not be correct to say it's not on its way. Look towards the recent advancements of AI. Generative AI has been used to create deepfake videos, audios, and pictures. As research and technology advance in a technologically centered world, such deepfakes have become more and more convincing. Convincing to the point where concerns about the use of deepfakes with election seasons and financial institutions have become more important. A 2024 study found that humans were 81.7% more likely to agree with personalized arguments from AI-driven large language models versus a human adversary. However, AI depends heavily on energy derived from fossil fuels, and its sourcing from data centers has accounted for 2.5 to 3.7% of global greenhouse gas emissions, more than the aviation industry. And with AI being integrated into search engines, computing energy per search could also increase by 5 times and catalyze the climate crisis. So while our current AI advancements seem to be getting closer and closer to Bostrom's hypothetical simulation, perhaps our own innovations and its furthering of the climate crisis will prove one of Bostrom's propositions to be true, that humanity will die out before we reach technological maturity. Reporting for FHN Today, I'm Vanessa Ng, signing off.
Thanks, Vanessa.
In pop culture news, Katy Perry's most recent tour, the Lifetime Tour, kicked off on April 23rd in Mexico City. However, she found it wasn't exactly a teenage dream. Perry was faced with some backlash due to some creative choices made in the show. Some common critiques of the show are about the choreography, usage of AI videos, and overcompensating her performance. Not only is Perry facing some criticism for her concert, her recent trip to space has created a lot of bad press for her and other passengers on the Blue Origin's new rocket. On social media, people have been calling the passengers and those involved out for carrying out the mission, having no real purpose other than simply being extravagant.
Moving to more local music, a record store has found great success emphasizing the importance of physical media. Camden Blair and Nathan Smith take a look at what makes this type of media crucial to preserve.
In Maplewood, Missouri, a local record business has managed to not only stay afloat, but catch a second wind and succeed beyond expectations. Planet Score Records is a testament to the importance of physical media, even in a world that has developed many more convenient alternatives.
So what keeps me interested in physical media, again, it's sentimental attachment that you have in tour, it's these records, versus CDs, all of the books that your parents used to carry in the car when they drove you to school. It's very sentimental. Also, whenever you go into a store, you meet a lot of interesting people. All of the employees are usually super nice. It just kind of creates a sense of community that you don't have if you're just on your phone.
People don't need physical media anymore, I mean, you've got streaming on your phone, I do streaming, but I still love records, CDs, and tapes, just the physical product. I feel like you kind of feel like you own it, you know what I mean? Like, sure, I could just pull up, Nirvana on my phone and listen to it, but when I have that record, especially copy that was pressed in 1991. There's just something special about that.
While record stores' main purpose is to sell merchandise, that's only half of what makes them so impactful. The other half is the store's effect on the community surrounding it. By introducing customers to new genres, artists, and albums, a record store becomes a melting pot of unique cultures and perspectives.
I think it's a culture, and it's a great hobby. And it brings people together, talking about music. I mean, we do it all day long. Love talking about music with people. And I just think there's something special about taking that record out of the jacket, putting it on your turntable, dropping the needle, as opposed to just pressing a button on your phone.
Again, music is life, and it's everywhere. It's all over the world. And you got to, put it in hands-on is so important, because we can lose everything that's online at some point.
Moving into sports news, 2025 NFL Draft took place this weekend on April 25th and April 26th. The first overall pick for the draft was Cam Ward, a quarterback from the University of Miami, was selected by the Tennessee Titans. The last overall pick, or Mr. Irrelevant, was Kobe Minor from Memphis, selected by the New England Patriots.
Difficulties take many different forms. For many people, losses during a game or even in life can be extremely disheartening. Senior Daniel Martin gives some insight on how to deal properly with such hardships and loss.
The FHN boys varsity basketball team is coming off a 5-16 season, and it'd be easy for one to hang their head, but not for senior Daniel Martin. Martin gives a fresh perspective on how to handle losses while remaining positive on and off the court.
He inspires his guys vocally. He's encouraging. He gives pep talks when needed. He might grab you some water if needed. If you need him to go in, he's going to give you all he got while he's out there. So he definitely impacts the team in a lot of different ways.
So I just wanted to be that guy to lift everybody up, try to keep everybody's heads up, because I get it. It's hard losing games. I mean, I've experienced 10 losses in a row.
But the losses on the court and on the field pale in comparison to a couple of losses he's experienced at home. From getting Daniel his first basketball hoop to watching Cowboy games every Sunday night, Daniel's grandfather, William Donald Martin, played a crucial role in his childhood.
He always came home with a smile on his face. He was always excited to see his grandkids. He was always excited to be with his family. He just wanted to do what was best for me and in my athletic careers. He wanted to see me succeed more than anybody in the family.
Donald Martin struggled with diabetes and related health complications throughout his life. Ultimately, when Daniel was only 7, Donald passed away due to shingles.
I didn't really know what it was. I was thinking, like, oh, he's gonna go to sleep, he's gonna wake back up, he's gonna be fine every day. It just happened, you know. It was shocking, I guess. I cried like all night. I was depressed for a lot of it. It's hard to see him go, I guess.
Not long after his grandfather's passing, Daniel's biological father, Devion Edwards, came into his life.
He supported my football. He wanted to be the dad of the year for my sporting.
According to Daniel, his dad was involved with drugs. On June 3rd, 2017, his dad was shot and killed in the parking lot of a liquor store. Edwards was just 30 years old, Daniel only 10.
That happened, and then I couldn't touch a basketball anymore. I couldn't go outside, and I just didn't do anything for 3 months of like my whole life, and it was hard. My mom kind of just told me like that I need to get over it. There's got to be a time where I go back out there and I gotta like show people that what I can be in life, instead of just sitting here moping. Go prove that your dad right. Go prove your grandpa right. Go prove everybody.
Daniel has worked to prove that since their passing and will continue to do so, as next year he is committed to play football and basketball at Rochester Community and Technical College in Minnesota.
Thanks, Daniel.
Make sure to follow us at FHNtoday on Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like and comment down below what story you'd like us to cover in the next episode. Once again, I'm Ben.
I'm Kate.
Signing off.